it's working. Let's see if it's working now. Can you hear me? No speak. You cannot hear me. Oh no, you said. See if you can re-see me. Sorry, it's just like it's nothing working. Today is one of those days that nothing is working, and I believe everything is gonna be back to front. I don't know what's it's all a bit of an issue. Can anybody see me? Please, could you let me know if you can see me? Could you let me know, because I had it ended the stream and then I had to restart. I don't have a good setup here in my studio. I have to, like, I literally don't have any space to move around. I need to do a rehash of the whole thing, and at the minute it's really stressful to do Facebook Lives because I don't have the space to properly set up. Usually before, when I was doing them weekly, I had a setup. It was like a computer. I knew where everything went. And nowadays it's like, okay, I need this. And it's like last minute thing. So you can see me. Yeah. So I'm really, I'm you know, when I had UNH and then you started getting those hot flashes, that's me. I'm that age. And some things are okay, some things are not okay. So let's just put it that way. But great. So thank you so much that you can see me now. Everything is working. If you can, thank you so much, everybody. I'll go give a couple of hellos and things like this. So I can see Sophie is here. Hello, Sophie. Patricia, Sandra as well. We have got, of course, Rebecca, lovely Kathy there as well. Sally, Valerie from our design team as well. Lorraine, another great design team member, as is Rebecca, of course. Patricia, Debbie, oh, it's so great to have you all here. It's brilliant. Usually 2 p.m. on a Tuesday is the time for Claire, but you know, she's having a break. So we have, so Lisa and I, we are kind of taking over. So last week it was Lisa, and today it's me. And hopefully from now on it's going to be very calm now that I think it's working. Hello, Linda, as well. Yeah, the stress increases the hot flashes. Absolutely. I mean, look at that. I always been like somebody who gets I always had hot flashes. I'm disclosing too much information here, but now, of course, it's just in another whole level. Hi, Antonella. I love that name. What a beautiful, beautiful name. So today, really exciting. I'm introducing the next 2 die sets from Paula Creates. There are 4 more coming up in September, so you have got time to, you know, like play around, because and hopefully more in the new year. But how I'm gonna explain Paula Creates is, of course, Paula Creates for Lisa Horton Crafts, and the whole concept when I created this collection, it was all about creating die sets that work on their own but also coordinate, and this is what this is the next step. Now, the previous that you may have seen it is probably my most used to date, which was the sleeve one, which is the one that creates the sleeve. Let me show you. Let me put that way here. So is the sleeve that creates the little capture for the book, but also creates it in the sense that you can create the very useful tower for your inks. Now, this will feature, of course, Lisa Horton Crafts inks, but also from many more, like including the distress, the regular size distress, and so on. Now, I wanted to make sure that you could create a little drawer. So not just make a tower of inks, but also like a little cabinet. And that's what the Thrifty box is all about. So you can create little drawers with the handle label as well. This could be, you can see, this is not pretty. This is a one that I have created to make sure that it was useful to me. Because I actually have got I mean, I use them so much for personal, like for my own crafting, that I already created those ones. Not because I wanted to create a project, but because I was like, I need to have those little drawers for instance, this was what I created for, hi Tracy, don't worry about being late, for the workshops that we do with Leone and Erica, the Craft Collective, which by the way, we do have but one coming up on Saturday. So if you want to book, you still can do it. It's in Chesterfield. And actually, let me show you what you will be able to create this, which is of course the Paula Creates sleeve, the little drawers, the little pockets in here to show that everything coordinates. Now, very importantly, right, this is an overview of what we are showing today. The question you are going to ask is, when are they out? Right? So they are going to be pick of the week next Monday. These two die sets, brand new, not seen before anywhere. They're launching on Monday on lisahortoncrafts.co.uk. If you you can now register your interest. It will appear that it has sold out. If they haven't, it's basically, it's like they are not ready to be shipped. They literally arrive, like, I think it was Friday or something. Like, these are, I got these two this morning. I have had the pre-production samples before, but this is the actual packaging ones. I got them this morning. Now, you will be able to buy them from Monday with a bundle deal that you're saving. So I believe you are saving $4.99 for the bundle. Now, the link should be on the very top. So I put it. I wonder if I should. Now, I wondered if. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to try the overlay. Can I show? There it is. Oh, I know. I done something. Like, see, one thing that is work. One thing that is work. I'm so pleased. So that's gonna be the that's where you can go right now. And right now you can see everything that we have from Paula Creates for Lisa Horton Crafts. And then you will see the bundle. You can see them individually. They will become, if you just want the drawer, you don't want the elements, that's fine. You can do that. But of course you get a $4.99 saving when you go for both of them. Right. So I'm going to do a little bit of demonstration. So I'll have to turn it around. So fingers crossed it works. Cannot promise you anything, but I'm going to try it. So I'm going to put that. Oh, well, it's gonna be. Let me see if I can. Oh, if it's mirror. Oh, yes, I have been able to fix it. How happy I am right now. You have no idea. For once, it has worked, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep that that in here so you can see where to get them. That's where they're gonna be. And let me go through both die sets. You don't know how happy I'm right now, not just because I received them today, but the fact that that I kind of been able to turn around the camera at the right kind of speed. Now I realize now that I have put it on the wrong side. I should have put it lengthways, the board that I use. The reason why I use a board rather than the glass mats, which I always work on glass mats, is the fact that it reflects the light so too much. So that's why I always try to create a board so the lights don't reflect. So this is fine. That will work fine for this. Right. So let me show you the both die sets. First of all, we have got the Thrifty box and the Thrifty box elements. Both die sets, you can see that I like to keep the packaging on the same way, so it's easier to find it unless it's a very small one. And you have got the assemble size here as well, and of course you have got here basically the instructions on how to assemble it. Right now there are 6 step-by-step instructions. There are more, there's videos that you can go through as well with a QR code. I think I have done them already, and now I have I panicked. I may have to, that might be one of the jobs that I need to do this week, uploading the video specific tutorial. And then you have got the metal, the box elements. I'm going to show you as well. The back as well is more simple because there is no kind of instruction. Like this is elements that you kind of play around it. Now this is one of those die sets that if you like clean and simple, this is phenomenal. There is so many possibilities. There is so many mats and layers in here. And one of the things that allows you as well, you have got the tiniest of flowers. However, they make the really, really pretty flowers. This is one of those dies that you have an idea. I do it. It works. And then when I receive the I never, well, I used it once. It's to create a little bit of a pop-up card, but it really is one of those ones that is like kind of an add-on that you may not use. Right. Let me put it back in here and let me show you the dies as well in here. And these ones, I already used that one because I was like cutting a few things and I wanted to make sure, like they cut more than one. And you can see this is the base tray. You have got different elements in here. You have got the label holder, the label, and then you have got some mats and layers. And this one is to create a little kind of intersections, and you will see what I mean in a second. Now, to showcase that these die sets are, of course, work very well on their own if you wanted to. This is one of the projects I have done. I did it over the weekend. I just had like a play. I just wanted to play with these dice. And this is the one you can have it like this could be somewhere where you use as a frame that you hang it from here. Or you can just have it as a pull-up, or you can just have it, if you don't want it, you don't have to use it. The way that it has been designed, it kind of sits flat if you want it. So for instance, if eventually you go for the larger boxes that we have got coming up with Paula Creates, you can close it like this, and it doesn't, protrude as much, right? All the elements, of course, decorative elements are from the elements, the Thrifty box elements. And then the way that you can do is like that. So cutting those cuts from the base one, like the box shows you here, right? The packaging shows you how to cut. There you have it. That is how you get that lid if you wanted to do that. Now, this is what I was talking about, those little separators if you want it. Now they are tight as they are, so sometimes depending on the card I tend to make it a little bit bigger with a cardstock, but you don't have to. Now I just wanted to show you how you again do not need any glue whatsoever. Even the little, I do not want to break it, but you can see it here. All right, so you can see that you can undo it completely. So I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch using a different color card. Then again, you put it like that, place it like this, then place this larger square. This one is the smaller one. There is the larger one, which is the one that it should be here. But with the separators or dividers, that's fine. Put the flower inside it. It could be a shaker card, and so much more. But look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? I really, really like this size. By the way, if you're wondering about sizes, well, I'll show it with a ruler, because sometimes it's hard to kind of, thinking, it's 3 by 3. It is exactly 3 by 3. If I put it like this, like if I close it as much, it's 3 by 3. However, because of the expansion of the card, it's about, I would say, 3 1/16 of an inch, and the same from the other side. If you want to know how much from this produces about, I would say, 1/2 inch, so 3.5. Right, if you wanted to use it as a sleeve, with the sleeve, that will work like this. Of course, If you're using foam pads, you will have to gently push them like that, but then you can have it perfect wrapping in here. So lots of possibilities there. Right, I'm going to bring in now my trusty plates. Now I have got brand new plates. Do I use them? No. And I'll tell you why not. Because I always use a brand new one from the top. So I start cutting against the one that is been a little bit, used, and then I use the clean one for the top. That's the way I always done it, which is a bit, sometimes a bit weird. I don't know, crafters say. I wanted to show you before I start demonstrating a couple of cards that I have made with the Thrifty elements. Now, this is one of my favorites I have done. Let me put it like this. So let me put it aside. The reason why I love this one is because it's using, and I'll put the dice. I keep them like that. When I use them a lot, I put a magnetic sheet in the bottom of one of these A4 trays, and this is when I'm kind of playing, and then I put them away somewhere, like a folder or something like this, to keep them safe. But while I'm crafting, because then I can just throw them onto the plate and I know that they are going to be safe. So here what I have done is that these dies, so this one cuts just the circle and indents the kind of corner, because I like that sort of effect to make sure that creates a perfect frame. So if you die cut that, that's going to give you the color effect. If then you put that one, it's going to give you that outer frame here. And then of course what I done is put all these dies together, secure them all around it with low tack tape. You can see there is lots of low tack tape left, and I cut it 9 times. And therefore I have what I got, and I'll show you, because here is what I have got, my system of drawers, right? So this is what I got. I got that bed, the frame, the rounded element, and also the ring, as well as, I think I have it in there, I've got the circles as well. So that way, if you have it, like, you get 4 different cuts, 4 different pieces. So then I color each of them in a different color to create kind of a sort of a rainbow effect. And then of course I use the flowers, all of them, including these ones, of course, right? So if you die cut that, you will have, so I die cut one of them per color, so you can do it before or after, and then you can have the little centers, because everything has got its centers there as well. So lots of possibilities just within the elements. Then this one is cut. So the first one I showed you was using those 2, right? This one I taken away the inner, and then I die cut it like this, right? So that's giving me the gray one. And then what I done for the bottom is taken this one, right, and then place it in here in the center, and that has given me the smaller circle there. So lots of possibility. Hello Beverly, Karen, hello Emma. What cards are you, which cards? Right, so very good questions. One question from Rebecca and another one from Emma. So Emma is asking, wait, what cardstock am I using? This is the Ish card, the watercolor card. I absolutely adore it. It's the one that I use all the time. I think it's 280 GSM, something along those lines. Absolutely one of my all-time favorite cardstock, as well as the Super Smooth and the black that Lisa does. So I have used here, you can see, trim it to size. This one is about, I think it's about 4 inches square, and this one is the base of the Ish card, the 6x6 Ish card. So, and I think so that's about 5.5 inches, I think it is square. So I have used that one. And then the other question that we have got from Rebecca, which is a very, very good question, is do you need to cut the big die on an A4 die cutting? No, both dies you will or both die sides again will fit through an A5 die cutting machine, perfectly fit through your Platy Green, if that's your machine of choice, like many of us is, Super Smooth. So you can use them all on there. this is another card I made using one of the dies that are from the elements. So that's the one. So I cut it 3 times out of black. These are based on my own drawings. I cannot draw much, except I remember one Christmas, I did a lot of little scribbles like this, and I kind of really liked it. So they keep popping back in my work. And then this label is actually from the box. So you get the outer, the bigger label, as well as the base that matches perfectly that size. So I've done that one. By the way, there will be downloads, so I have done them. Last night I finished them off, so you can see it here. There is a second page. So these ones you will be able to access through the QR code on the packaging as well. And remember, I tend to put, but that probably will be next week as well, some extra ones or extra information as well, downloads on the Crafting with Lisa Horton Facebook group, as well as the Mix with Miss Paula Facebook group as well. And then finally, I really had lots of fun creating this one, which is the same flowers. They're absolutely same flowers, but because the way that you for instance, in here, I believe I just use these 2 larger ones. So the smaller one I kind of round it up, and then for the centered I use the little ones in here, and I just added a tiny little black dot, which you get them in here as well. So lots of options, lots of play. I tend to, let me show you. See, I have got plastic. These ones are boxes that I have had for over 20 years, and they were little punches used to come in there, and I kept them all, and they're really nice, and they fit perfectly here. So you can create, like you can see, they keep every single bit in there. The flowers, I can't. This is, I think this one is 200 GSM. No, this is paper, so it's a little bit thinner than that, and I cut a couple of them at each time, ready for me to use. And ultimately, the best way is like to be organized. You can have like a little unit with all the drawers in there. Thank you, Pamela. That's such a sweet message. It's like I pop over to Lisa's website and register my interest. My friend isn't on Facebook. I need to let her know. Yes, please, if you can let her know. She was all the palace. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining. And thank you so much for being such a great support. You know, it's life has been quite complex the last year, I would say. And you probably, if you are a watcher of shopping television, you will know why. So I'm just so glad that I landed basically on Lisa Horton Crafts. That allows me to be very creative, and you know, like such a great team. Lisa, Danny, of course, and Adam, you know, they're amazing. So every single time that I see those messages, Pamela, that it just makes me really thankful and humble as well, because like I feel I don't deserve it. Sophie, great. I have a lovely afternoon and evening. Sarah, very useful dice. She's saying absolutely. I think so. That's what I like. I like to do. And Rebecca, you're absolutely right. It's sometimes hard to know the sizes of these dice. Right. So if I put it here, you can see it. Right. So I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna grab. So this is typical me, isn't it? I had it all prepared, and then always last minute change my mind. So here we have got an A4 piece of card, and I'm gonna go purple. I don't tend to craft that much with purple, because purple is a color that I like certain shades, and sometimes it's difficult to find those shades. I have to say that this one is one of the Lisa white core cards that cuts beautifully. So now I'm going to show you the box. Now, one of the reasons I have gone for a white core card is because while it's not what, you know, professionals say, don't use that one because it might crack on the score lines. It's okay if it does. I rather you see how it works in terms of cardstock, and also if you can see the lines a bit better than the cards if it's just a black card or a white card. That's my reasoning. Now, this is the first thing that we are going to do. Now, this is the die I have designed it separately. And again, I probably spent a good hour deciding whether I was putting it separately or inside or with the set. And I decided, or with the, the outer box, I decided to be two separate dies. Obviously, they come in the same die set, but is two separate dies, because I knew that if you wanted to make a box, a frame box, and you didn't want to have the handle, the drawer. So basically, if you wanted to create this one, right, you can see that it doesn't have any markings in here. You could do that. I really, really wanted to make sure that you could have it without those marks. So without further ado, what I recommend to do is place it like this. It's quite neat and it's not much space, so it was going to be pretty easily centered. And then I just take a piece of low-tack tape. In this case, because there is a bit of gap around it, you could, you know what, I'm going to do the top tape that my dear friend showed me, which is to put like this, put it like that, right? Just pick it up and place it there. And that's a little bit easier than when I was doing. So more or less uneven. It doesn't matter if it's a millimeter off or not. Oh, Jean has joined us. Denise, thank you so much. Right, so I'm going to place, make sure that it's lined up. And I'm going to bring my machine a bit more in there. Not because it's in shot, but because there is no space for the place to go. And apologies for any vibrations, but it's perfect for a small gift box. Yes, it is. Lorraine, it's perfect for also memorabilia. So for instance, I don't know about you, but I keep things like, well, you can guess from which country that was, little chocolates, or maybe a little kind of, I don't know, something like this, like a pen or something like that. Elements that you don't know where to put them. And then you can have a little drawer like this of different trips. So you can have, for instance, the one with Switzerland, Spain, or maybe the Cotswolds, Edinburgh, the trip to London. Maybe you just went to Eastbourne to the retreat with Lisa. You know that Lisa is doing the retreat in September, at the end of September. Very, very exciting about that. So those sorts of things that you collect little things there that works really well, like a treasure chest of treasures. Now you can see it has scored every single line, and then just place it like this and you can see it. Yeah, perfect. It hasn't cracked. There we go. And I tend to go first those sides. I don't know why. It doesn't need to be the sides. You can do whatever you want to do first. Remember, you have got the mats and layers for the sides. If you wanted to decorate it further, you can. So let me grab. So this one would be, see, I have got where I put them. So for instance, this one would be the widest mat and layer, and then you have got another one which is slightly smaller, but I don't have it here with me, but you can see how everything is being fed. And then I tend to do it mid-air because I can bend it a little bit more gently. Oh, John, don't apologize. Sometimes we, today is one of those days that everything has gone a bit pear-shaped, so I was, that's no biggie. There we have it. And then here we go. Right now, I like to do this bit before I put the how you call it, the label holder, because once that I know the folds, which by the way will go like this. This is how difficult it is. And of course, for the bases, I have got here the die that is included in the Thrifty box, and that will hold it perfectly like that. Now, Louis has asked, what GSM of cars do you need to make the small impact stack? So this one, right? I would go 250 to 280 to 90. This is 280, and I find it that is really nice and sturdy. And of course, once that you start adding elements like the top area, like top and bottom and the joiners, this becomes really sturdier. There will be a box that houses all six, either this way or, well, or this way as well, and that kind of makes it even sturdier. But yeah, 280 GSM is the ideal kind of GSM you want to be. Right, and then here we have the fact that because it's not without glue, we can undo it, and then we can put our label holder. How do I fold it? Well, I do this very gently. Now, what I do is try to gently do the folds here first. If you have been to one of my workshops, you will know. And by the way, do make sure that you check the Craft Collective, because our Lorraine did go to the last one, which was fantastic. So I say, well, if you don't want to fiddle, you can just cut it and glue the label. Absolutely fine. You can do that. It's not this. They're just making it a little bit easier. I don't make easy dies. I make useful dies that hopefully they are going to be very versatile for your craft. I hope they are easy as well. Hello, guys. I need this. Well, I think you might do need it. Right. So one of the downloads says mats. That's the die. That's the word that I would use for this one. Remember, it's a free download. There are words like bits and bobs, words, die cuts, label holders, joiners, circles, squares, but also butterflies, flowers and things like that, so you can customize your own, and there will be lots more. And it's, if you measure it, you can see that it just fits perfectly there as well. And there are words as well like create, journey, breathe, happy birthday, thank you. So I thought it would be really nice to make a box that it was like a happy birthday and maybe some present. Now there are 1, 2, 3 folds that way, and then there are 2 that way. So hold it like this, fold it like that, and then automatically kind of it has that zigzag. You want that zigzag there, and then you want to bring in. So let me show you like this. Can you see it there? Zigzag, and then turn it over, and then bring them in. Yes, don't worry, it's gonna be released to sell next Monday as a peak of the week. It's sold out. It's not really sold out. We are waiting to put it on there. So Monday will be all released there. There we can do. Put it here. Place it. Can you see how I'm putting this? I'm gonna show it again because I want to make sure. So you see those 2 cuts. Remember that we have folded inwards. Thread it through, and once they are in, open them back in. I tend to fold them backwards. Doesn't really matter how you fold them, whether you let them flat or there. You can of course use glue. Can you see it there? If I put it there, I'm trying to make sure that you can see it, but there we go. Now the GSM I'm using for the box, I think 250 is ideal. You can go 270 as well, and I have done it at 200 and it works really well. No, don't say that. Guys is saying, "Oh, I'm so no." It's Monday will be released with that £5, $4.99 saving when you go for both the box and the elements. There we go. So you can see how simple it is, and then we put it there, and that is how the box applies. Now, do I want to make a cover? Well, yes, I do. So that's when I remove that one out, and there, hence why I have given you the possibility, like, not 2 separate dies for that one. And you can see this is an A5, fits perfectly. Gonna bring my platy green here. a little corner there. Yeah, it's the notify. So basically, if you go to the link, then you can click on notify when it's back in stock, and they automatically, as soon as the stock's loaded up, then you will receive an email. I believe that's a really good system, because basically, as I mentioned, I only got the package as dies this morning, so of course it needs to load it up into the website. It has to be kind of loaded to the warehouse and all the stuff in order for us to be able to send it to you. So make sure that you go to Lisa Horton crafts.co.uk or the link below that, and you can then land it into a page where you can see the Thrifty box, and it says sold out. Click on it and it will say, you know, oh, notify me when it's in stock, and that's gonna be when, well, next Monday, I believe, for the pick of the week. Right, so what I'm doing, this one is for that cover. This is, imagine that this is the only die set that I got. I'm not using anything else but the Thrifty box at the minute. So what you want to do, you can use your trimmer if you prefer it. If it's a project that I'm doing for somebody, I use a trimmer because I'm just not very good at, you know, like cutting with my scissors. But before the live, I just thought that it would be quicker to do it like that. Basically, that scoring line, so the middle score line that you have got here. Then I like to do this with a little bit smaller scissors, sharpish scissors. So I tend to do it like that, not at the score line, just inwards a little bit, and then a little bit there. That kind of nipping a tiny bit at an angle helps to close the box. And then let's put it like this, and then like this, and then we have that element, which will work perfectly inserted inside it, and that creates a box, a gift box. Now you have got the mats and layers to create a perfect kind of color in here if you wanted to, or something like that. However, in this case, I wanted to create an aperture, and I do recommend to do these steps we have done so far, and then do the aperture. Now here is where it can get tricky, because it's like, how do you choose? So one of the ones that you could go is for the circle. This is the one that cuts just this circle but creates that indentations, which is really, I think is, I really like that. You could, you know what I'm going to do is just showcase how I would layer them perfectly in place. So what you do is use all the dies, basically, in there. There we go. Concentration. That's when I shut up. I wonder if, are we silent when we craft, or do we talk to ourselves? Because that's something that I have found that I think I used to talk to myself a lot more. But I don't know. What do you think about it? Right. So what I'm going to do here, so you can see all of the dies are attached here, and even I will attach the middle one as well, because that's a cool one to have as well there. Right in here. Now if I like had them like this is what I was talking about before, that you get all those bits, right? And this is the watercolor card, so you can see that it has like had really nicely, I mean, I love those. And they have got like debossed lines as well, so they kind of give you a lot of possibilities in here to play with. Let me show you this one as well, so you can see that it has that corner, because always with circles I want that decoration on the sides in here. Now what you can do in here, that gives you a more kind of ability. Ooh, Lillian, I love that. That's funny. She does say I do silent with the occasional swearing. Yep, I can relate to that. And I'm not somebody who actually naturally is. I am somebody who uses that many, but sometimes the frustration. So I wanted to create just the one. So this is what I do. It might sound a bit complicated, but kind of go in there. Yeah, I think that's so press down, low tack tape in the middle. So that's kind of keeps those two there. And I put the circle in there because I wanted the die cut as well, the two die cuts, like kind of the little frame in them. So I'm gonna put this, bring in my trusted plastic green, and tattoo yourself. You guys, yes. Sometimes we can. I used to chat that to myself a lot when I was crafting. I don't think I do it as much. Rebecca says I tend to watch Netflix or a crafty video when I craft. That's true. I have to say I tend to watch a lot of these days YouTube videos of random stuff. That has got pretty spot on there. So you can see now I have got that element. Then I can place that one in here. But what I want to do now as well is to take, and you can see you can have got all these options, and because they are a square base, which by the way I'm using the Thrifty box element or Thrifty elements, you can then use them for other projects as well, right? Remember, you have got always little elements, right? So I have got this for other boxes. Sorry, I'm kind of just talking nonsense now. Boxes for, say, for instance, for other not square boxes. Sorry, square sizes. Think about it. I'm using a word that I know it's not the right word, but my brain says, "Hey, you're using that word now." That's one of the things that I found when I hit that age of the hot flashes. It really has made my brain not engage in certain things, like words. The other day I was writing some instructions, and it just they didn't mean anything. They really didn't mean anything, and it was just like, how can you do that? How can you go in from a side? No, I can't. Right, so we have, I love that little frame in here. And remember, if you wanted to make a perfect mat, you could. So what I would like is this, like to create that effect, right? Very simple. If you wanted, you could create another frame that is another color. Die cut these, out of another color and place it in there if you wanted to. If you wanted to put vellum underneath it, if you wanted to use acetate, of course you can. I'm just showing you very simple few ways of using the elements and the box. So my trusted high tack, and I have to say it didn't, like, I thought I had found my perfect glue until I discovered the high tack from Lisa Horton, and I'll tell you why is my absolute favorite glue. First of all, my first condition is, my first thing requirement is that it has to be strong glue, which it is. Second, that it has to dry quickly, and it does. But also it has to have wiggle time, which it does. And finally, very, very important for me, is that it has to be pH neutral, which means that it doesn't have any acid. So it means that, acid free, that is archival, because it means that all those projects that we are doing, some of them, I know not all of them, hopefully they're going to be treasured by the person that has received it, and years after years they are going to be loved. So see, this is kind of press gently around it, and I really like this. This could be for those ones who, I know some of us collect little bit something called buttons. I don't know if any of you have, but this would be perfect for that. Now, if you wanted to put acetate, and I'm going to show you quickly. So it's because I think that is a nice way to show how to do it. So what I would do is, you don't have to put it, but just do it like this, place it like this. So I'm going to take my scissors. Cut it a bit around it. You can die cut it, absolutely you could. That would be probably more efficient. But and then I'm going to take the tape runner. I tend to use the permanent the dot glue one. And what I'm going to take is the scrap piece of card, because I'm going to go over it. Can you see it? No, sorry, I'm just doing it off the image. I may not. There we go. Right. So then place it like this. You don't need like a red liner tape for this, and I definitely don't recommend ever to put wet glue on of any kind onto acetate. It really is very difficult. If you do, you attach it first to the card, let it dry a few seconds while it's still a little bit tacky, then you put it onto the acetate. Don't ever put lots of wet glue onto acetate. That's something that I have done in the past, and it's messy. So now you have got that area, and what you could do in here is, now is where I would say, well, okay, so now you put a little bit of tiny of a red line adhesive. This is one of the reasons for this sort of that I love the tape runner, because it with the dots, because it allows you to put tiny dots. I don't know if you can see it, but for very small areas. So even from the inside, it's going to be a nice element here. Duramakes, very good idea, Valerie. If you make Duramakes, this is perfect. This also, I mean, I have done a really small one here, but let me show. See, this is me. I use like literally card that I had left over. Basically, with a single A4 card, you can make this. An A5 does this. You cut it in half, then you have got the base, and then you have got the sleeve. But for instance, I have got here, these ones are very old pictures. They are literally 11-year-old pictures that I had. But you can put a picture here. You could maybe do like almost like a snow scene, right? I mean, obviously this is Andalusia, so but you could do like, I don't know, something like if you had like a mountain or something like that, and have that beautiful chunky glitter. So yes, I use my dies all the time for practical reasons. I think one day I'm going to show you what I have got the backdrop in there, because I have got that and that and that and things like this, so I can have access to all the bits and pieces. But that was just to show you how that you can use them. Of course, you could use that as in there as well. Some of the downloads include sentiments. I have revisited some of my old stamp sets, so again, you have got things that you might have seen. And there is something else I wanted to show you that I have done. If you have seen my work previously or have followed for many years, you will know that home decor and incorporating flowers in my day-to-day is very important. I love it. So what I've done, this is a branch, and I just absolutely love the moss color coming through here. So I always grab these branches, and now that I have to go through the process of tidying up the house a bit more, I haven't been able to throw them away. So what I thought is to use the Thrifty Elements little flowers and then just attach them. I use the high-tack glue, and look at that, it really are really well attached. So that creates a little element that you can have here. That's another of the labels that is on the download, so you can have that beautiful link into it there as well. So lots of possibilities in here, and I just wanted to do a quick way. Finally, I know there is like 8 minutes there, but just a quick one on how I do the how I color the flowers. So for the flowers, this is something that I find it that I used to color the paper first and then die cut them. But I prefer nowadays, what I do now is to die cut them first, have them always ready. I have got like this, and then use the tacky mat. By the way, the ultimate is the pick of the week now. It's back in stock, and the bundle includes the tacky mat. So I absolutely adore it. And you can, I mean, I have to say I have got 3, and the reason being is because I use this one that is very, very, very marked for coloring directly. And then I have got one that is pristine for my stencils. And the reason being is that some dyes with the, you will, you know, if you use a permanent dye, it will, you know, go through it. But if you clean them immediately, the inks from Lisa, most of them will come up, but I am not very good at cleaning. So just saying. Right, so I would like to do them. I'm gonna go for actually I'm gonna make it with a color shift, and I'm gonna go for watermelon spray, right? So also what I love is that the tacky mat holds the ink pad, so in one go you have, you know, you hold the mat and the actual die cut. So I want a little flower like this, and I would like as well one of the larger ones. So, and then I might go from this color and say maybe, oh, that's, see, this is what I kind of go in. What color would work really strongly? That's too close. Oh, what about, see, now this is me. This is me to a T. You know what? I'm gonna stay with the purple theme. So those two, the color shifts, you can see that one is more bluebell and the other one is more purpley. So I have got this one, and then I'm gonna take another one of that in this one here. There we go, and that one, and then I'm gonna go for that one. So then I can mix and match. Sometimes you can do all of them. Really, they are small flowers. There is no going wrong than the fact. However, there is that beauty that, you know, not many people do small flowers, so I wanted to have something really dainty in here. So there we go. See how great the tacky mat is? Oh, sorry, MJ, you cannot see it because there is a comment in there. Let me put it like this. Can you see it, that it doesn't move? The flower just stays there. Isn't that great? I mean, it moves it when you're pushing in the other one, but as long as you are vertical, there we go. So slightly 2 different variations of color, much more visible in the naked eye. And then let them sit for a few seconds if you need to. And what I'm gonna do is, so I'm gonna take the little one, the medium size one, with a tiny dollop of glue. There we go. I always remove the excess, place it in here. See, the problem is with the ring light, you cannot really see it that well. Let me show you how that kind of shows the difference, but it's still tonally perfect. And then I'm gonna go with a darker tone one here, and then press the center, and then do the same. I mean, there are so many different variations you can do in here. And then finally, I have got 4 minutes left as well, so not long. Oh, that would have looked really nice as well. Right. So then, oh, I can spend hours doing this. So I have got 2. Now I'm gonna place the flowers on the kind of board, and of course, to clean it up, you want to clean it up as soon as possible, but just spritz a little bit of water. And I always have got like leftovers of cards, right? When I'm trimming the cards and things like this. So especially watercolor cards is such a precious, gorgeous card, and it's great to pick up all those things. And of course, this will be perfect because you can see that these flowers as well. One of the beautiful things is that you can be able to die cut them there. Now, anything else extra, you can clean it up, or you can mark it up, or for the purposes of this demo, which we want to be a little bit faster. Remember that if you have been waiting for the Ultimate 2, is the pick of the week with that tacky mat. I strongly recommend it. Just for that, it's a brilliant tool. There is so much more that it does. Right, so we have got these two. Usually I would go for a third one, of course. And the other thing that I want to pick up is that little branch in here, and just wanted to show you, I should have colored it in, that this one, it creates the perfect little wreath. So it's two pieces. I couldn't do a full wreath, it didn't fit in the plate, but look at that. You can create those ones. Thank you, Carol. I'm trying to read other messages, but kind of have got 2 minutes. Right, so what I will do is put that one. Look at that. How beautiful does it work, this one. Perfect. So do I want to put that one here? And then, oh, I like that. Even though it's two, that works. And of course, then you could go in with the circles. And yes, I go with my tweezers. And you have got different size circles in there. I think this one will be a little bit too big. There we go. See, different size circles. And if I use this one in here, you can see that it adds a little bit more. To me, it needs a third flower, but that kind of works as well for me. And of course, you could then put, so if it's for birthdays, you could put here birthday wishes. This could be the front of a card. It could be a present. It could be a photo of something. It's just so many different possibilities. Right, I'm gonna kind of try to read if they have got any questions. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Patricia. Daphne, this is a brand new 2 set, so let me show them again. They work together with the book, the treasure book, and the sleeve. So these ones are the same size. Well, they work together in the sense that they are square, and this will fit on the sleeve. One last thing is Thrifty, because the same as treasure, whenever I put a name on something, I try to look for a word that starts with the first 2 letters or resonates with the size of it. So this is 3x3, so Thrifty. And the same as the treasure book. So it's like a 3, so that kind of works there. So that is a collection. Yes, sorry, Daphne, I've only seen your comment now. It's a collection that is launching on Monday, but you can register your interest right now on the link that is on the screen. You go there and you say sold out, but you can say notify me when it's available, which means next Monday, the 28th of June will be available. So thank you so much for everyone who has joined me. Any questions? Of course, remember I'm on Mix with Miss Paula Facebook group, Paula Creates and Crafts on Facebook, but of course, Crafting with Lisa Horton Crafts, the Facebook group. If you tag me, I will try to see it. Facebook plays up a bit with me, so sometimes I don't get the notifications, but you can always private message if I don't see them. But if you message me on Mix with Miss Paula, I almost always see that as well. So thank you so much, everybody. Lisa, yes.